the way, Kirsten, I do know one way to get into the White House. If you're one of those big donors of $500,000 or more, you get to go to quarterly meetings at the White House.
Jay Carney says that's not true, Sean.
Who said Jay Carney?
Yeah.
You mean the same guy that called Bob Woodward a liar? That guy?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, I'm just checking.
I'm just reporting the news.
Oh, just reporting
the news.
Fair and balanced. All right, we got you. Mary, welcome back. Good to see you.
Hello, Sean. Hello, Kirsten. Happy whatever Happy Lenten season.
All right, so let me explain this, Mary. We can't cut $44 billion this year without predictions that children will starve, they won't get their immunizations, airports will shut down, long lines from the TSA, doom, gloom, apocalypse. I think the president's kind of been exposed. Nothing happened.
The audacity of mendacity. You know, what's really depressing about this is the strategy is predicated on the presumptive ignorance of the American people. They know it's not a cut. They know it's a reduction in the rate of growth, which is infinitesimal relative to the budget. It defies common sense. We're going to balance our budget by spending more money. It denies empirical data. When you cut your spending, you grow your government. And this debt is not only burdening our children, it's today crowding out private investment. It's reducing capital formation, which means there's lower real wages, and fewer jobs. And people out there people in the real world get that. It's so the presumption that Americans are so ignorant. And can I just say one more thing? As you know, Kirsten knows this too. You worked in the White House. Those tours are done by volunteers. It's another audacious piece of mendacity.
I think it's pretty interesting. You know, because I think the strategy is what the Washington Post and even the Wall Street Journal is pointing out, Kirsten. This is about 2014. This president thinks if Nancy Pelosi's speaker, he gets everything he wants. So he wants to fight the one big battle. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Look, I mean, I do find this pretty despicable, and I was thinking exactly what Mary thought. I was remembering back when I worked there, and I thought, I'm pretty sure they're done by volunteers, and also employees can do it. I used to do tours all the time. People could chip in if it was really necessary. The idea that people are coming here for spring break, people plan these months, years sometimes in advance to come here, and the White House is shutting the doors to them just to win a political battle, I have a real problem with. Here's the thing. This whole sequester thing, it has nothing to do with the deficit or the debt because it's not even going to touch it. So this really is a political game, and there's no reason for him to exaggerate what's going on. Just talk about what the CBO said. 700,000 jobs will probably be lost because of that. That's not good for the economy. There's no reason to make up stories about janitors or turn away honest, hardworking Americans who have come to go to the White House on a tour.
House. All right, but the president often uses props. He used the first responders. He's used children. The Republicans, their plan is dirty air, water, and kids with autism, Down syndrome, and the elderly fend for themselves. But he also said in this debate over the sequestration, well, who do you want to cut? Poor kids, poor children, or the disabled children? Here's what he said.
You know, the problem is when you're cutting $85 billion in 7 months, which represents over a 10% cut in the defense budget in 7 months, there's no smart way to do that. There's no smart way to do that. You don't want to have to choose between, let's see, do I close funding for the disabled kid or the poor kid? Do I close this Navy shipyard or some other one?
The disabled kid or the poor kid? How about this? I would rather cut Mohammed Morsi, the Muslim Brotherhood 9/11 truther, the guy that refers to the Israelis as descendants of apes and pigs. How about we not give him $1.5 billion? Good idea, Kirsten?
Well, I mean, come on. Foreign aid is a tiny infinitesimal part.
I don't want to cut the children. I don't want to give it to Morsi. I want the children not to suffer.
I think that there are arguments in favor of, even if Morsi is a terrible person, of giving aid to Egypt to try to maintain some sort of level of influence there.
Wait a minute. He made a choice, though.
Wait a minute.
The president made a choice to give money to the Muslim Brotherhood guy, Mary, over the disabled children and the poor children. I would have chosen the children.
This is why people are so cynical about government and the presumption that we're so ignorant that that the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, would not choose to cut non-essential positions. You just said there's 400 job postings over not canceling a deployment of an aircraft carrier to the Persian Gulf or to releasing illegal immigrants. Are we that stupid, or is he that irresponsible?
He's a demagogue, which I think is the answer. I think he's been demagoguing from day one, Kirsten. Tell me where I'm wrong.
No, in this situation, I think that he is demagoguing. He's wanting something, almost wanting something to go wrong so he can point the fingers. And, you know, you have Napolitano talking about TSA agents, like, oh, well, if there's a terrorist attack, it's because of the sequester. I mean, I don't, you know.
All right. Mary, welcome back, by the way. Glad you're off some, you were like, you disappeared for years. Nobody saw you.
No, I never disappeared. I get what you mean, but I missed you. I love you. I'm glad to be back.
All right. Good to see you. Kirsten, always good to see you.
Good to